Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video, you join me for the first oil change on the E39. So it's the M57 D25 variant. We've got 6.5 litres of oil to change. So we've got probably 40 minutes of daylight left, so what can go wrong? Let's get the oil in, get it serviced, and some rubber good as new. Okay, so I use something called the oil extractor method. It's just a nice, easy way of changing oil quickly and cleanly. So I'll mix this up with the standard sort of sump drain. I change the oil. I'll try and change the oil on this every 5,000 miles. So between changes, using this is no problem at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide it down, just in case those of you who've never seen this before. This dipstick, for some reason, is such a nightmare to get out. Slide this down into the dipstick. I think I've got the thinnest one here. There we go. Till we hit the bottom of the sump. Now what we're going to do is attach our under the main tube. This one here, without flicking oil everywhere. Like so. Problem is, this gets all slippery, and yeah, it makes it more difficult to hold on to. Now, all we need to do is just pump this now, a bit like a brake lead, and you can see there the oil is flowing out. Now, the reason it does this so easily is because it's hot. So I've been driving this car just back from work. Mrs. Deanna and I've been to the shop, so it's nice and hot, and the oil's going to come out really quickly. And that's the trick with these extractors, to use hot oil. If you use cold oil, it can take ages to come out, whereas this will take 10-15 minutes. So while we're doing that, while that's draining, we're now going to do the oil filter. Okay, so we've got our supplies here. We've got a brand new 36mm oil filter socket. We've got our new oil filter as well. And I just need to get my 1/2-inch drive, and then we'll get cracking. Very tightly packaged. So here we go. I've got possibly the biggest oil filter socket ever. It's properly heavy duty, but 1/2-inch drive, so that'll slot nicely into the ratchet that I've got. It's a nice big one. You'll notice I've got a rag sat on top of the engine ready, and I'm going to put that in, down and around this housing, so that any oil that spills doesn't go down onto the engine block. A bit of horrible smell. So here we go. You notice the filter on this is quite small. It shouldn't be too tight, because they're only sort of hand tight. You do them up anyway. Okay, let's get that seated on there properly. There we go, so that's what I'm doing now. Doing very nicely. Just give this a pump just to make sure we're still draining nicely. I would say we are, because the pipe's nice and hot, the hot oil. Now, hopefully, this will be removed without having to take that off. And hopefully, the filter I've bought will match this one, which is why you always have your oil at the ready, just in case it's not the right one. You have to put the old filter back in and refill it with oil. Fortunately, because this is a slightly older BMW, the oil is actually cheaper and more readily available, because it doesn't need to be any sort of special. It just needs to be LLO4. It doesn't need to be any sort of ridiculous specification or anything. We've just had that's 3 litres of oil out of the car now, so we're halfway through draining the oil. Here is our oil filter and O-ring. So what I'm going to do is get my rag ready. I'm going to whip it out nice and quickly. Yeah, that's the right one, so that's always a great start. Got my old box ready. This is probably the most messy part about using an extractor, which is what you'd have to do anyway. Just need to get this filter off like that, put it straight in the box. We're going to put it on the floor, wipe my hands off. So we will attach the new filter. Doesn't go a particular way, should just slot in like so, and then we've just got to change the O-ring on here, which we just need to use a little flat blade screwdriver for. Okay, so got the Swiss Army knife, good for everything needs, including removing oil O-rings. Here we are, that's that one done. Now, trick is with these is that we need to get the packet open, make sure that we give it a reasonable coating of oil. So just run your finger, you can take it off the old filter as well if you want, but just to lubricate this O-ring so that it seats properly. So it should look a bit shiny like that is now. Just work all the way around. If your finger starts to get dry, just add some more. Like so. See, that's nice and shiny now. So slide this over the top. We're going to roll it down to where it needs to be. Like so. What you want to do is make sure there's not too many twists in it as well. So if there's any twists, just need to sort of work those out. Okay, that's okay. So that O-ring's nicely seated there. And let me just make sure you can see where it needs to go. It needs to go below that opening. Some people put it on the top, but it needs to go below, because that's what you use to prise the thing out. It's the easy way of remembering it. So here we are, that is the oil filter changed. We will place that back in if we can. Easier said than done with no light. There we go, that's going in nicely. I'll just leave that slightly unsealed because that will otherwise create a vacuum for the other oil, which will stop that draining out. So here now, if the camera comes round, we're at four and a bit litres. Each one of those notches on there is a litre. So we're coming up to about 4¼ litres so far, which is pretty good. So I'd say another 5 minutes or so we'll be done draining the oil. So we are being treated to a beautiful sunset here. Mr. Dale's just on her phone to her friend from America, so I'm filming now. Absolutely stunning evening. Going to be cold tonight, 1 degree, so this will be interesting. But oil is drained. We've had the full 6½ litres out, so now's time just to get the oil filter seated. We're not draining any more out. I'll get it seated down in here. It's easier said than done, actually, which is quite funny. You need to sort of put it in quite exact. So that going in? No, not quite. Let me have a play with this and get this in. So that's nicely seated now. So we're just going to tighten this up by hand, and then we'll give it another half turn probably by with the old socket. Actually, that's a bit tough. Probably with a new O-ring sealing. So we'll tighten that down, and then we shall put the new oil in. Okay then, so we're running out of light quickly, as you can see. Lovely sunset, but not helpful for changing oil. So the filter's all snug down. We've put 4 litres in. I'm just going to put another 2 litres in, which is exactly half of the oil here. And then we'll slowly use the dipstick and build up the levels like that. So, yeah, this has gone very well. Touch wood. I'll obviously include a clip of the car starting up and sounding much smoother when it runs. But, yeah, if I don't see you or say anything, then thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Okay then, so we're inside the car. Just gone 8 o'clock. Actually, I'm just going to use the blue. Actually, no, I won't bother. What I'm going to do is just going to start the car. I've got the ignition on. I'm not sure if this got electric oil pump or not, but do the first start up. I've got about 6.5 litres in now, so let's see how she sounds on the first start up. Oh wow, that is much smoother. That is fabulous. Much quieter outside. Yeah, that sounded really nice. So let's get out and have a look. Just make sure we've got nothing leaking out. Quite tight actually the way we park this. Everything's intact, everything's sorted. We've got no oil peeing out here, so that's good. Everything looks and sounds fabulous. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next video. Cheers.